Remind me this year to sell in May. There's no reason for Ethereum to exist. Like, why do we need Ethereum? I think it's going to replace ETH. What's the next ETF going to be? Probably XRP or Solana. I can't believe Trump launched a coin. Teach him about Bitcoin, not crypto. I don't want him shitcoining. Tell him that the governments own all the money and they can take it from you. I'd say it's going to be over 150,000. It's going to be higher. I don't know if we will have an alt season. But now we've got 50 million tokens. Gaming run, a meme coin run, decentralized compute run, and AI agents run.
Hello guys, so we are now in Dubai, just before Token2049, and here with you Anna Tutova, CEO of Coins Telegram, and our guest Ren Neuner, who is coming back to our channel after 2 years, and he is founder of Crypto Banter and CNBC Crypto Show, the first TV show about crypto. So great to have you here, Ren.
Nice to see you again. 2 years we've been trying to do this.
Yeah.
That's crazy. We finally got it. We finally found some time here in Dubai to shoot this interview.
Yeah, so last time you told about your losses in Luna and how you recovered from those. So you've 2 years passed, so how do you see the current crypto market? And I see your latest tweets that you are not buying now, that you think we will see another dip.
You know, my first tweet this year was, remind me this year to sell in May. And in 2 or 3 days, it's May. So question is, will I actually sell in May? You know, are we actually going to go up or are we going to go down now? Yeah, I have recovered 2 years later. Obviously, I recovered. Actually, that Neuner incident turned out to be a very good incident in my life, actually, funny enough. Made me stop focusing on investing and start focusing more on building a business, which I have control over. You know, with investments and Neuner, I had no control. With building your own business, you actually have a lot more control. So actually turned out to be much better. We have a much better business now than we had 2 years ago, which was amazing. In terms of my view on the market, I think you need to understand the dynamics that are at play in the market, right? So you have a new president which came in January. The type of president that he is, he's a very ego-driven president. And you know, like Trump, if you want to get into Trump's good books, just tell him how good he is and how amazing he is. And just, you know, if you look at all the people that are around Trump, all they talk about is, they just say how amazing he is, how good he is. He likes to be surrounded by that. He gets the affirmations from the people around him.
Yeah, my stock is dropping, but you're perfect.
So wait, so Trump's biggest, when he talks about his previous term, he always talks about the stock market. When they had the best economy, we had the best stock market, blah, 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 right? That's how Trump talks. So what you have to understand is that he's not stupid. He's come here and he's very calculated. And he is going to measure the success of his presidency based on the measurable metrics. What are the measurable metrics? Stock market performance, GDP growth, unemployment numbers, inflation, right? And in doing that, I think he's very smart. In fact, I think he's smart enough to know that his legacy will be measured on his total presidency and not what happens in the first 30 or 60 or 90 days, right? So I think what's going to happen now is, you know, sometimes you have to make changes. And when you make changes, sometimes people get scared. And sometimes let me give an example. In a normal company, in order to make a change, the first thing you have to do is you have to fire someone so that you can bring someone new inside, or you have to restructure, right? So that's what Trump is doing. He's very calculated. In the beginning of my term, I will change policies, I will do tariffs, I will negotiate trade deals, which at the end of my term will pay dividends. And then the markets will go up. And so what I think is going to happen is I think we're going to be in for a little bit of a turbulent time. Nothing too destructive. I don't think that we're going to get to a very destructive period. Why? Because he would see that as a defeat. He doesn't want to be seen as a defeat. He can handle short-term pain. And especially, he can handle short-term pain when he can blame it on Biden. Oh, Biden left me the best economy. Oh, Jerome Powell is the worst guy in the Fed ever. He can blame someone else. 3 years in, you can't blame someone else. 30 days in, 60 days in, 90 days in, you can blame someone else. The old administration had really bad trade deals. You can't do that after 3 years. So short-term pain, long-term gain. And I think that's also the route for the market. Short-term pain, long-term gain.
And did you expect such tone of events that the market will be down since the first months of Trump?
Look, I don't really look at the market short-term. So, look, my investments I hold for multi-cycles. So, did I expect that we'd go down in April, up in May? No, I expected we'd go down in May. Okay, so we went down in March and April instead of May.
So you're not selling anymore in May?
I don't know, because we went down in March and April. So what, are we going to carry on going down May, June, and July and August? I don't know. So, I mean, look, as I said, I hold investments which I believe in for multi-cycle. So I hold, Bitcoin, Solana, SUI, Hyperliquid, things that I hold for multi-cycle. And I don't plan on selling any of those. My fund positions, my leverage positions, maybe I'll cut a few of them. But, yeah.
You don't hold any Ethereum anymore?
Serum, I don't hold anymore. No.
When did you sell?
I can't remember. I mean, my thesis is blockchains are about creating digital value. That's what blockchains are. Like, we managed to create scarce digital value. The creation of digital value means the trading of digital value. And then so there's three layers. One is the digital value itself, which is created on a chain at L1. Two is the trading of the digital value, the casino, where you buy and sell the digital value, spot and derivatives exchanges. And obviously derivatives exchanges much more than spot exchanges. And then the third layer is the actual projects themselves. Now, Serum was in the trading thing. I think I sold it sometime after FTX, like when Sam Bankman-Fried it all went down. I was like, okay, I'm out.
Okay, so it was quite a while ago before all this disappointment from the general crowd about Ethereum.
Yeah.
But now a lot of people say that you should buy the most hated thing. What do you think about that?
My thesis around Ethereum is there's no reason for Ethereum to exist. Like, why do we need Ethereum? Just why do we need layer 2s? Why don't we just do everything on a layer 1? You've got SUI, you've got Solana, and many others that are very fast. Why do we need Ethereum again? Just quickly remind me, why do we need it? Because the only reason why Ethereum still exists is because Ethereum still exists.
Decentralization.
How is Ethereum more decentralized than Solana?
It's more decentralized still?
Maybe a little bit, maybe. But it won't be for long. They'll just add more validators, more nodes. And I think the market's telling you the same story. Like ETH, you look at the ETH chart, it's just one way, it's just down. Like there's no recoveries, there's no bounces, there's nothing. It's too slow, it's too heavy to turn around. It's you know what it is? It's Nokia. It's Internet Explorer. That's what it is. It's heavy. It's slow. To make things worse, it's decentralized. At least if you're heavy and you're slow, but there's one CEO who can make all the decisions, maybe you can turn the business around. Here it's heavy, slow, and decentralized. It's like, wow. Also, wait, let me ask you a question. You're a blockchain developer, and you're trying to build an application that consumers are going to use. Yeah? Fair? Where do you build it? Honestly, tell me, where do you build it? Here's your options. You can build it on Bitcoin, but you can't have smart contracts. So you're not going to build it on Bitcoin. You can build it on ETH. Problem is, you're not going to build it on ETH because the gas fees are too high. And you'll never attract users because the gas fees are too high and it's too slow. Okay, you can go onto an ETH layer 2. So if you did, you'd probably go to Base so that you could attract Coinbase's customer base, right? Okay. I have a prediction that the Base chain will migrate off Ethereum one day. Because they'll realize that there's actually no reason to be on Ethereum. And either they'll take the Base chain, create their own validators and say, we're not settling to Ethereum anymore. We're just a chain, we're not a roll-up chain that settles to Ethereum. Or they'll just, I think most probabilistically, they will just create their own standalone chain. Which is pretty much actually is at the moment. It's just built in EVM and it settles to the ETH thing. Or you can just build it on Solana or SUI. The downside of building if you build on Solana, you've got a massive consumer base with amazing tooling and amazing infrastructure and wallets and exchanges and whatever else. But you have to build it in Rust. which is a little bit more complicated than building building it for Ethereum. Your other option is to build it on SUI. The problem with SUI is you don't have as many users at the moment, but you will soon. And you have to find developers who understand Move, which is a derivative of Rust. And that's maybe a little bit more complicated. So now I'll ask you again, if you were a developer and you were building, where would you build?
Which is faster and which give grants.
Solana.
If to pick one, Solana or SUI?
What am I building?
Like up to you.
I would build
maybe not only building, but in terms of investment.
Solana.
Why Solana?
Because I think it's going to replace ETH. I think it's got the most catalysts. I think it's got the most network effect. I think that, what's the next ETF going to be? Probably XRP or Solana. Like that's probably the next ETF, which means the next batch of institutional flows will go to a Solana ETF, probably. So yeah, I'd probably build Solana before SUI, but I have both in my portfolio.
So, but Solana position is bigger.
Much bigger.
And as well, what current crypto trends do you see? Well,
I think the layer 1 problem is solved. So I think we don't need any more layer 1s. It's finished. We have base, which is for me a layer 1. You have Solana and you have SUI. That's enough transactions for now. Solana can scale if we need to scale. It just needs more hardware. So I think it's time for the app layer. So I think it's time now for applications. I think the projects that we're starting to see are no longer layer 1s. So we used to see like every week a new layer 1. Nervos, this, proof of work, proof of stake, proof of. Now we're seeing applications. We're seeing deepen applications. We're seeing trading applications. We're seeing like multiple different applications, right? Social currency applications and stuff like that. So I think that the trend now is consumer applications. I think within the next 24 months, we have the first real killer blockchain app. When I say the first real killer blockchain app, mainstream are using it without actually they just for some reason it's getting value in their wallets and not understanding that it's blockchain. I think we're 24 months away from that.
And what are your thoughts as well on crypto and AI?
Yes, for sure. Definitely crypto and AI are a good mix. Multiple reasons. One is I think AI needs decentralization, because right now we've seen open AI and we've seen how woke open AI is and how manipulated the results are of OpenAI. Pretty much as manipulated as Google, like if you think about it, right? We need decentralized AI. I think also, we as users, we train AI data. We train AIs, we give them data. We're not getting rewarded for that. And I think that, that's one of the things. Also, the one thing about AIs is, if you think of AIs as multiple different agents that belong to multiple different people who don't trust each other, right? Those AI, they used to call it Internet of Things, but those machines need to settle transactions between themselves, right? So I'll give you an example. If you're driving to the airport, you're driving and I'm driving on a street, and we're both in driverless cars. So let's just think, me and you are both in driverless cars. And I need to get to the airport because I need to get to a flight, and you're going to relax with your friends at the beach. I'm in a hurry, you're not in a hurry. You are in front of my car. Okay, now, the question is, why would your car move out the way to let me pass? Okay, so that's a real problem. Like, just think about a world with AI. Your car is in front of mine. How do they decide whether I have right of way, whether you're going to move over and let me overtake you? Okay, now, what's going to happen, it hasn't happened yet, but that's going to be a negotiation process between me and you. So my car is going to say, I need to get to there in 7 minutes. You say, I need to get to there in 15 minutes. The two cars are going to negotiate. And your car is going to say, I will move out the way if you give me $2. Okay, cool. So move out the way, smart contract. If I overtake you, you need to get $2. How do you get paid? It's not Visa and MasterCard, right? It's trustless currency between people. The only way to do that is to put a smart contract between us. that says the two cars negotiate and say, if you move out the way and I can pass you, and I pass you, you will get $1 from me. Okay, so that's a smart contract. You can't do it on Ethereum because the gas fees are too high, so you can do it on Solana.
Okay, and as well, do you teach your kids crypto?
My oldest son, I teach him about Bitcoin, not crypto. I don't want him shitcoining.
How old is he?
He's 9.
So how do you explain to him what Bitcoin is?
So I explained to him that the governments own all the money and they can take it from you, and I tried to explain that to him, and then I said to him there's a new kind of money which is Bitcoin. Yeah, but look, also my kids watch a lot of YouTube.
And, your channel,
and so
I guess.
they watch me a lot on things. So sometimes when I come home from work, you know, like kids want attention. So sometimes, you know, they want to try and get my attention. They'll try and talk to me about something that I spoke about on the show with no idea what I'm talking about, but they'll do it. And so once my kids actually came to me and said to me something like, I can't believe Trump launched a coin. It's like, what? She's like, can't believe Trump launched a coin. And I was like, and then I asked them like, but what do you mean he launched a coin? They didn't know, but they because I said on the show, I said that they can't believe the US president launched a coin. So when we were eating dinner, it was my 7-year-old, and he said something like, I can't believe Trump launched a coin. Sorry, what was that? So that's a true story, by the way.
That's funny. And as well, we are now in Dubai, just before Token2049. What are your expectations?
I expect more of the same. I expect a lot of networking, a lot of fun, a lot of parties. The one opportunity where I love coming here, and the reason why I love coming to these conferences is because you get to see what everybody else is doing, and it motivates you. It makes you feel like you're not doing enough, and it motivates you to do more. That's really why I come to these events. I don't really learn anything from the talks. Like the talks are all the same to me. I can watch them all on YouTube and podcasts. But it's more about meeting the people, understanding what everybody else is doing, and then every time I leave here, like I always feel like I'm left behind. But I always come back. I make a list on my phone, actually, of all the things that I need to do the day that I get back. So like I make a list of all the things that I need to do on the day that I get back. And then I just attack them one by one, by one, by one, by one.
And who are you excited to meet this week?
Yeah, I think we're going to meet Eric Trump. In fact, is he coming here? Okay, so yeah, I think he might be coming here next. So Eric Trump is one of those people that I'm quite excited to meet. Who else am I excited to meet? Excited to meet our community. We have a community of like people that watch Banter. We have a party here every year. In fact, have they been invited to our party? Like, we must invite them. They must come to our party. It's tomorrow night. Yeah, you should come. It's the best party in Dubai. So I'm excited to meet
I guess tomorrow you don't have big competition, so it's a good day.
I am going to play polo tomorrow morning at 7. Hey, Amy.
Yeah.
I'm going to play polo at 7 in the morning tomorrow.
Nice. And as well, what are your price predictions for the Bitcoin by the end of this year?
I don't like giving predictions because you're probably going to be wrong. I'd say it's going to be over 150,000, but I don't know how much over. But it's going to be higher.
And how long will this bull market last, in your opinion?
I think it's going to last at least until Trump leaves power, which is like 4 years from now. But are we going to have multiple dips along the way for longer periods of time? Possible. But I think the stock market and therefore ultimately the crypto market, the reason why I say the stock market and therefore ultimately the crypto market is because I think that up until this cycle, Bitcoin didn't track the crypto markets. But now in this cycle, because of all the institutional adoption, Bitcoin is going to track the crypto markets. So I think, the stock markets. And so I think that if your thesis is the stock markets are going to go up, then your thesis is that Bitcoin's going to go up. And so I think if you ask me, 4 years from now, is Bitcoin going to be a lot higher than Bitcoin is today? And that's the day that Trump leaves office, and the answer is 100% yes.
Okay, hopefully. And as well, when will we see finally the alt season?
I don't know if we will have an alt season. I think we'll have multiple narratives of, like we had meme season last year, Was that alt season? Yeah, that was an alt season. That was coins that were not Bitcoin doing 1,000 X's every single day, right? That was an alt season. It wasn't the same alt season that you and I remember because we've been here for so long. But remember now we've got 50 million tokens, right? Just think about it. Like, there's 50 million different tokens right now. When we started in this industry, there were 600 tokens or 500 tokens or 300 tokens. And so it was easy to lift up all 300 tokens, right? Now you've got 50 million. You're not going to lift 50 million tokens up. So what you're going to do is you're going to have pockets of alt seasons. You're going to get a gaming run, and you're going to get a meme coin run, and you're going to get a decentralized compute run, and you're going to get an AI agents run. And those are all alt seasons, right? Are we going to have one alt season where every coin does 100x and 1,000x? And no, forget it. Those days are finished.
So what is the next narrative for this little alt season? What's the category?
I think AI is not finished yet. I think AI has still got lots of legs. I think gaming hasn't had a run for a long time. I think the off-the-grid Gunzilla, off-the-grid game for the Gunzilla token, a bit disappointing. That was supposed to be the big gaming catalyst. It was a bit disappointing. So I think gaming, there's something in gaming. It just hasn't happened yet. I think AI, there's lots of stuff in AI. I think something around meme coins, but I'm not sure what, and it's not the same meme coins that we know about. So it's not meme coins and it's not celebrity coins, but something around meme coins. Maybe a combination of meme coins and prediction markets. So like I'll give you an example of what I think it could look like. Something like which color is going to be in winter, brown or black. And then you place your bets on whether it's brown or black based on a token. And that token is used to fund Zara's brown collection versus Zara's black collection, and users actually get a return for being correct, if you know what I'm saying. So I think it's something like that. I don't know exactly, hasn't been invented yet, but something like that will happen, where you land up using betting predictions and users get to benefit from the outcome, but on a mass scale. I think that's one of the narratives that could start running.
Yeah, let's see how the market will play out. Thank you for such exciting conversation.
Thank you. I'm glad we finally did it.
Yeah.